It's really that simple. Why don't you want to start them too early? Some people think, well, if I'm supposed to start them 10 weeks early, I'm going to start them, 12 or 14 weeks before that last frost, and then I'll have great big plants going out into the garden. That can work, but a lot of times you're transplanting your seedlings into something like this, right? This 3.5-inch pot. This isn't big enough to grow a huge plant. And so unless you want to transplant them out of this and into a bigger container somewhere along the way before they even get outside, it's not worth it. If you leave them in this container, the plant gets stressed, the roots get all bound up, they hit the edge of the container, and it actually can often trigger the plant to think that it needs to go into reproductive mode. So oftentimes if you're growing things like peppers or tomatoes and you leave them in a small container for too long, you'll see them flower and fruit, which you don't want before you put them out in the garden, right? It interrupts the growth cycle. It interrupts that typical period of vigorous vegetative growth that most plants have that you want to be taking advantage of out in the sunshine once you put them out in your garden. If you start too late, well, you just might not have big enough plants to transplant.